Did you know that Diddy's new lawyer is a woman that was... Her name is Nicole Westmoreland, and she was violated by an associate of Cash Money Records. So, rumors were swirling like a week or so ago that Diddy was on the hunt to find a black woman lawyer to add to his legal team, and he has now added Nicole. Now, Brian Steele has just joined Diddy's legal team as well. Him and Nicole both worked together on Young Thug's RICO case down in Atlanta. So right now, Diddy has a supreme team of lawyers, which is standing at a total of about 6 to 8 people right now. This Diddy case has been a roller coaster from start to finish, but let's talk about this assault case with Nicole versus Cash Money Records. All right, so here's the backstory. This happened around 2001. She was around 19 years old, and she was working for a business that helped people get their license reinstated if they were suspended. She met Birdman, one of the founders of Cash Money Records, and she learned that a lot of his artists as well as associates on the record label had suspended license. So they invited her to the studio like, yo, come by, tell us about this business. Maybe we can work out a deal. She was a little nervous about going to the studio to do this business transaction. So she called up Patchwerks Studios in Atlanta, and they was like, no, don't worry about anything. We keep security on site, so you'll be safe. So she drove by the studio. She saw baby them outside, and they was like, yo, come on in. Everything good? You straight? She was like, nah, you know what? I'm gonna just swing back by tomorrow, because she felt a little hesitant about, doing that deal. So she did go back the next evening. She brought 3 of her homegirls with her. They got to the studio, and she said when she walked in, it was at least 50 people there. They were partying, drinking, smoking, doing the normal things that's involved in hip hop and people being in the studio. There was a guy there by the name of Alfred, and he was a friend or associate of Slim. Now, Slim is Baby's brother, and they both are co-founders for Cash Money Records. Now, Nicole said as they're there, they're kind of walking around, they're getting acquainted. She said someone sent 2 of her friends to go to the store to run and get some supplies. Another one of her friends was braiding someone's hair, and she started to get nervous because she felt like, okay, all of my homegirls, we kind of getting separated from each other, and this wasn't the plan. We was all supposed to stick together. So she got up and walked out and was like, yo, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Alfred pops up and was like, yo, come on, I'll show you where the bathroom is. And she was like, you know what? And I'm assuming by now she's outside, close to the bathroom. She was like, you know what? Don't worry about it. I don't have to use the bathroom anymore. She said he pushed her into the bathroom and he did the unthinkable. Okay, we adults, we know what happened in that bathroom. She says as it's going on, somebody knocks at the door. Alfred yells like, yo, you know what's going on in here? He finishes, opens the door up, tells his homeboy like, hey, you can have her now. It's your turn. Obviously, by this time, she's visibly upset, probably distraught. So the homeboy just let her go, let her run out and leave. By the time she gets outside, she said Alfred comes up and was like, yo, you better not call the police. So I'm assuming by the time she gets somewhere safe, she does call the police. She reports the crime. And Alfred was charged with violating her, and he ended up pleading guilty. After that, she sued Cash Money, and she won the case. So, wow, yo, that's a lot. That's a crazy story. Crazy story, but a common story. Happens a lot. So in my opinion, she has to be this fully healed woman to be a defense attorney and have to investigate and defend someone who's accused of similar crimes that she experienced herself. Now, the rumor was Diddy was seeking a black woman specifically because he wanted this particular woman to be the person to cross-examine all of the victims. Right now, there's about 3 or 4 victims. Cassie is the main one. Victim number 3 sounds like she's getting cold feet. She don't want to testify anymore. Because the feds say they can't get in contact with her. They don't know what's going on, so she might not show up. And honestly, man, I hope they're not using Nicole to be the attorney to cross-examine the victims. And as I'm sitting here, I'm curious if her situation is a conflict of interest of some sort. Considering, one, she's been through this type of incident, and the incident she went through was with a record label. I'm also curious if somebody will bring her incident up and if it'll make its way into the trial. All of this is interesting. But yo, like I said before, hopefully, I don't think she should be doing the cross-examining. And I'm gonna include a clip from my previous video to explain why. I just don't think it's gonna be a good idea. But yo, check the clip out. Now, TMZ was also reporting that Diddy was on the prowl for a black woman attorney as well. Now, a lot of us think, well, most of us think, hey, is this for optics? Because why does it matter if she's a black woman? You should just be looking for the best of the best attorney. I hope they're not using this as some legal strategy to have this black woman cross-examining the women victims, because I don't think that's going to go over over well because Diddy's lawyers are saying that a lot of these victims are ex-girlfriends. And just from us in the blog and hip hop community, we know a lot of Diddy's ex-girlfriends are not fully black. He dates a lot of racially ambiguous women. So if it was me, I wouldn't put a black woman or a man up to the task to cross-examining these women. I'd have a white woman do it because it's just ingrained in a lot of people's subconscious that, one, you don't want a man just beating down on a woman on the stand, and you don't really want a black woman coming aggressively at lighter skinned women. Optically and historically, it just never bodes well. Because when you have black women either coming at white women or lighter skinned women, this whole thing of colorism and racism seeps in, and it looks like the black woman is being the angry black woman and being aggressive with the dainty white woman or the dainty light skinned woman. We will see if this pans out.